Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to today's video in which we're going to be looking at London. Mostly I'm going to be doing a post-market analysis of London, trades that happened, and how I personally took advantage of it, and a couple of other students from the private community did as well. And yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So I woke up at 2:30, so literally woke up here when the market shift was happening. So I got it like that. As you can see, if I wait for the 5 steps, we have to run on liquidity, we have the aggressive move lower, finally get the market shift, and when the market shift happens, we do get a fair value gap where it has to happen. So afterwards, all that I really have to do is go down to the 1 minute, identify which is the low that basically causes the market shift, which in this case was this one. Price, market shifts, and my execution was there, right? As you'll see on the I made a video when taking that execution, but I was not talking because it was 4:30. Well, yeah, 4:30, 4:50 in the morning for me, so it's definitely not something that I was interested on. And that's pretty much it. Now, do keep in mind that as an example, we're having a pretty bullish bit of price action, right? Because we have this entire thing just going higher. So what gave me the confidence to go lower, right? To go against that trend, at least down to these couple of lows that I decided to use as targets. Well, in this case, in the 50-minute, we do get a market shift, but in my opinion, it's a little bit weak, but definitely some market shift. And if we go to the 5-minute, we see that there was already a failed entry, or well, failed price action, because we have run on liquidity, market shift, fair value gap, right? And then aggressive move higher that basically ends up taking the high. Now, after that, there's another run on buys liquidity, as there is a market shift to go bullish. Fair value gaps here fail, and as you can see, we get slowly price action going lower. So that means that basically, this market shift, we already got a theoretical entry, right? We have liquidity that is taken from the middle and there as well. And if I remember correctly, we do get an entry. Complicated one, but entry for sure. Yeah, well, it would have been really complicated, right? Because if we wanted to count this as a market shift, which it is somewhat of a low that we can see, this would have been the fair value gap to execute on with the stop loss up here. So that would have been a theoretically profitable entry. And then we have this one, which is definitely a defined low, but the fair value gap, well, the fair value gap is here, although it is created after the market shift, which is not ideal. Either way, if we would have executed on this with the stop loss up here, it would have been fine, right? But yeah, it's just not much for me to really do, right? So we already had that confidence that even another entry with the 5 steps was already working out, right? With the 5 steps on this fair value gap, with this run on liquidity, this market shift here and everything. So it was definitely interesting to see. That's pretty much it. That's why I decided to sell. In my opinion, we had already a good amount of price action to try to be bearish, right? We had already one theoretical entry working out. It's not the first change in the direction, right? It's not that price is just going higher and we get a tiny market shift and we're trying to sell from here. We already got that one, and then we get another run liquidity, market shift, fair value gap, and then the lower time from entry. That's a little bit more price action. We're a little bit safer, more secure when trying to take that second entry per se. So that definitely helps a lot. And I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Target, we're just going for lows, right? Always trying to go for liquidity. In this case, we could have said we can go for this one, this one, this one, maybe even. And the problem with these lows is that, in my opinion, they're not really significant. So, example, if I was going to go for the aggressive target, which was this one, as you can see, price takes that and then retraces aggressively. And it does that because it is an important low that has a lot of liquidity. And after that, it tends to basically cause somewhat of a retracement, somewhat of a reaction to that level, which is definitely why that would have been my larger target, the farthest away that I would have gone for. On the other hand, if it would have held longer, down to maybe the lows inside this range, which would have been just a few more R, it is definitely doable, right? But still problematic due to this, right? We can see retracement in the middle of the trade, and that's not something that I personally can handle really easily. So I prefer to just go for safe targets, get a 4-hour or 3-hour in this case, right? And be happy with it. Right, so that's pretty much it. That's really all that we had today. Really lovely trade happened. all together, as I like seeing the 5 steps. The raw liquidity, the aggressive move lower, the market shift in the lower time frames, just what they have to do, really. As simple as that. So that's really pretty much it. That's really all that I wanted to talk about in this video, honestly. I wanted to do it a little bit larger, but there's nothing else for me to say on this one. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you took something away from it. I'll be seeing you until the next one.